Hi there, welcome. My name is Eddie. Big welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. So I'm just taking a break from a series I'm doing, which is called A Christian Reading the Qur'an for the First Time, just to respond to a comment that I saw. And before I say that though, I just want to say that 99% of the comments I've had have been absolutely amazing, full of love, full of encouragement. And yeah, I just want to say thank you and sending a lot of love back to the Muslim community. And this comment, it wasn't a nasty comment. Oh, well, it's quite a few comments actually, but the guy was more sort of warning other Muslims against me or about me, saying that I was basically being a sneaky Christian trying to convert people and I can't be trusted, and to look at my other videos for evidence. So I just wanted to address this because I don't think it's a fair representation of where I'm coming from. However, I can understand why the gentleman or the guy would come to that conclusion, because thinking about it, if I saw a Muslim channel and a Muslim guy was saying, I'm reading the Bible for the first time, I'm keeping an open mind, I would think, oh, that's interesting. Maybe he's interested in, Christianity and he's open to becoming a Christian. So I can see why there's been maybe a bit of a misunderstanding. I just want to address the open-minded thing. When I say the open-minded thing, it's because, for example, when I heard first about in the Quran how it jumps from subject to topic to subject, and there's only one complete story, my first reaction was, oh, that doesn't make sense. That's, blah, 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 quite negative. Whereas an open mind is how I've sort of taken towards it in this series. I researched on ChatGPT, and it said it is like this because it keeps a person's attention by, when it's different. So that's what I mean by keeping an open mind. I have no intention to, however much I love you Muslims, and I think the book's really interesting and there's a lot of wisdom in there. My intention is not to convert to Islam. So I just want to make that really clear in a very respectful way. However, I do appreciate you and I appreciate your religion, and there's a lot of things I admire about it. And I can also see why that gentleman was skeptical of me, because he went on my other videos, and there are 4 videos of me debating Mansour. He's quite a famous YouTuber from England. He goes down Speaker's Corner in England, and I debate him and I give 4 video. Someone's whistling outside, I don't know what that is. It's not, always happens when I do videos. And I just want to explain what happened there, because my approach in those videos are quite different to this approach. So I can see why that guy who was saying I can't be trusted, he's seeing a difference and he's a bit suspicious. The reason why I did those videos was because I went down Speaker's Corner because I'd been watching a few videos by a guy called Bob the Builder, and Mansour was having a conversation with I think it was a Greek Orthodox Christian, about the history of the Bible. And I said a word that didn't make sense. Mansour came to me, we started talking, someone else butted in, Mansour went off, he got annoyed. And then we had another discussion. But I found that in that conversation, that Mansour and his partner in crime called Hashim, and the impression I got was that they were looking for Christians who were walking through the park and then just like twisting a Bible verse out of context and then just pinning them down on it and then humiliating them, making them look silly, and then putting a thumbnail up, embarrassing them. And I didn't like that. And I could tell quite quickly into the conversation I was having with Mansour what he was trying to do, because I'd made a mistake with this word I said at the beginning and he was really trying to pin me down on it. So I started pushing back with the whole Mecca thing. Now, when his video came out and I saw it, and I didn't have a microphone, so you can even hear what I was saying, and then all the comments below like sort of mocking me, and then the thumbnail was mocking me, and even the title, when you click on the video it says Muslim stops, was it Christian from embarrassing himself,
You were answering the question, and
This is professional debate.
excuse me.
Are you sure you went to theology school or grammar school?
Yeah,
Grammar school or theology school?
cameraman has another take. But he's quite... And I saw all his other videos and it's a similar line, very disrespectful. So I thought I would do a video to support my claims in the video. And I was getting all this stuff from Panda Films. So I probably, if you were to watch those videos, you never met me before, you'd probably think that I was, sort of a polemicist, which means a Christian who sort of goes on the attack to do with theology of another religion. And So I can see what that gentleman thought, you know, oh, this guy's just one of those guys on YouTube who, you know, like Sam Shimon, for example. So I can see why he came to that view. So, am I being sneaky trying to convert Muslims with these videos? The simple answer to that is no. However, there is a caveat. I hope that's the right word. This channel is Ed's Christian channel, and if you read my bio, which I'll put in one of these corners, it does say that Christianity is the best thing that happened to me and I love it and I want to share it. I also say that it's like a creative hobby for me to do. So in everything I do, every video I do, every conversation, obviously I'm going to be thinking, oh, you know, I wonder if this person's open to Christianity, or if I do a video, you know, I'm going to be painting Christianity in a good light because it is so, I think it's so good, and I think it's misrepresented in the world. And I used to have a wrong view of Christianity. I used to think it was the Pope, moody Christians, and the Catholic Church, and it's completely different. So even if I'm doing a video that's about Corinth, for example, which is not an evangelistic video, but I'm still trying to present a good light of Christianity. So if I was to say, oh, I'm not trying to convert anyone or try and lead anyone to Christ in my videos, that would probably be not true. However, when I was thinking about ideas for this video, that was not my main goal, my main target. And I'll explain why. Okay, now I'm going to explain to you why. When I thought about doing these videos, that my main objective is not to convert people. So that discussion I had earlier, that debate with Mansour, the one I said at Speaker's Corner, you know, I don't mean to sound like not broken violin, a violin player, but they were making little digs at me all the time. Like, for example, Hashim was saying, oh, get refund on your degree, blah, blah, blah. It was just all little digs, you know, by experienced Muslim evangelists. Now, being English, I'm quite proud of my country. If I see people like Mansour's from Bangladesh, Hashim's from, I think he's from Pakistan, but you clearly can tell by the accents, they weren't born in the UK, but they're in a park in the UK, and they are trying to like find Christians, and this is our, you know, the religion of the UK, even though it's technically a secular country now, and they're trying to humiliate us in our own country and then post it all online, and I just find that quite disrespectful, you know. And so that wasn't a very nice experience. At the same time, I watched that documentary on the grooming gangs, which was very upsetting for me because I've got a niece and I feel like the government has been trying to cover it up. And also, if I'm totally honest, please don't be upset, but it also upsets me that there hasn't been like protests from the Muslim community, because I know that it's a small minority of a certain people group from a certain country. But it makes me sad when people from that who know of them or know them, even though it's not them, are not protesting. That's just me being honest. You know, please don't be offended by that. Then when you add all the things in the news, for example, yesterday there was 50 people killed in Congo. Day before, Zia Yusuf posted on Reform Instagram page that there's a post in Manchester for Sharia law enforcer. And then when these things are happening, and then, you know, like there's a heading, I think it was one yesterday, and then I see churches, crosses being pulled down in England, and there's these things going on in Syria, churches being burned down. It's happening every week. And for years, as a Christian, I was sort of ignoring it because I just didn't want to have to like deal with it, especially like probably the guilt of me not really doing anything about it. And then I listened to a talk about it and it convicted me, and I thought, well, I can't just ignore it. So I'm trying not to like watch it too much, but at the same time I'm not trying to ignore it. So all these things are happening around the world, even though I know that most Muslims are really nice. I spent 4 months in Turkey, they're amazing. I got a really good Muslim friend from Saudi Arabia who I had a great time with. A couple of months ago we did Kuji to Bondo walk. He got me one of those really cool headscarves, and he's invited me to Saudi. So this isn't obviously me digging the Muslim community out. I'm just saying that obviously it's a minority. But when obviously I'm not seeing the Muslim community complain about it, I'm just seeing them complain about Gaza. And obviously what's going on in Gaza is not nice at all. We don't want people dying in Gaza. But it kind of, what it does is it creates tribalism. It creates this kind of us versus them, or you versus us. And I don't want that. So after that debate with, you know, Mansour, and then seeing all these things on the news, I'm starting to get a bit upset by it all. And I can feel myself going more right wing, and then the algorithm kicks in on Facebook and YouTube, and you're getting all these videos of things that are going on around the world. And I sent a couple to my friends, and one of them wrote back saying, Eddie, you probably shouldn't watch so much of this stuff. And I thought, I'll take his advice. It's not healthy. So I thought, well, how do I move forward with this? Do I then become like a staunch sort of, you know, sort of muscular Christian type figure and always pushing back? Or do I try an approach that I feel more is me? Because even though I'm not soft, I'm not walkover, but at the same time, who I want to be and who I feel like my nature more is a sort of person who wants to be nice and connect with people. So that's part of the reason why I thought, right, I can do these videos about the Qur'an and I can connect with Muslims, because if I show that I'm willing to try and learn about something that means a lot to them, then even though I'm probably parroting Christian propaganda, or I'm parroting things that maybe they think is wrong, at least it shows I'm making a bit of an effort. So with these videos, my main goal was to read the Quran, to find out really what is going on, you know, why these things are happening in the world. Is it rooted in the Quran? What's true that's coming out of YouTube? And then I thought, at the same time, I can use it as a way to connect with Muslims, hopefully make some friends. And then, but always, without a doubt, at the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, oh, I want people to come to Christ because I love it so much. And sometimes, without realizing it, that will come out. So, for example, if I read a verse in the Quran, most times I'll get a thought in my head, oh, I can actually use this to promote Christianity. But then I'm like, oh, do I want to do that? Because I don't want this video to be about me always promoting Christianity. I'm trying to connect with them. So it's that fine balance. I'm trying to be open-minded, but obviously I've got 9 years of being a Christian. I grew up in the West. I've got my culture, even my culture is rooted in Christianity. So I'm going to have biases. But to answer the original question, am I being a sneaky Christian trying to convert Muslims? I'm not being a sneaky Christian trying to convert Muslims. However, like I said, at the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, I'd love that person to become a Christian. And same for you guys. I know that if you were to ask yourself honestly, when you're answering my questions in the comments below, are you doing it like out of love for a person you've never met? Or are you thinking, maybe if I just say this, it might bring him to Islam? So it's just human nature, isn't it? Like, none of us are perfect. And anyway, I don't really have much else to say. I hope I managed to explain myself well. And yeah, but I do want to say thank you very much for the comments. I really appreciate them. And I'm going to be doing another, I think I'll probably end up filming about 6 more videos or 7 more videos of this Surah Al-Baqarah. And then I've got to study, because I'm doing my graduate diploma in arts, but it's basically theology. And I have to focus on that for 2 or 3 months. But I have pre-recorded a load of videos to do with atheism. So I'll be posting those every week. I recorded them a month ago. So if you see all these videos popping up from me and you're like, oh, I thought you said he's studying, it's because I filmed them ages ago. And then after I finish studying, I'll probably do another chapter of the Quran. Okay, but like, yeah, thank you for the comments. God bless you. Sending lots of love back, and I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this experience so far. Thank you. God bless you. Goodbye.